Chosen ones, an emergency update is unfolding right now, and the enemy's trap has been exposed. God himself has spoken, warning you not to fall for this setup. The forces of darkness thought they could outsmart you, but your light is too strong, your spirit too unshaken. This is not a coincidence. You're hearing this message because you're meant to stand firm, to see through the deception, and to step into the divine protection prepared for you. The enemy's plans are crumbling, and you, as God's chosen one, are about to witness a breakthrough like never before. This moment is critical. The enemy has laid a trap, subtle and cunning, designed to pull you off your path. It's not a loud attack, it's a whisper, a shadow, a carefully crafted illusion meant to make you doubt your purpose. Maybe it's a voice telling you you're not enough, or a situation that feels like it's closing in, trying to dim your light. But God is saying, don't fall for it. You're not here by accident. Your presence in this moment is proof of your divine calling. The enemy sees your power and fears it, so they've set a snare to distract you from the greatness God has planned. Right now, I need you to pause and claim your strength. Drop a 777 inches, the comments below, to declare that no trap can hold you. That number carries the energy of divine perfection, a sign to the universe that you're ready to stand in your truth. And if you're feeling the fire of this message, hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking this path together. Your action amplifies this truth, sending it out to others who need to hear it. Let's talk about what this trap looks like. The enemy doesn't come with obvious chains. They come with confusion, planting seeds of fear that make you question your next step. Maybe it's a financial struggle that feels endless, or a relationship that drains your spirit. Perhaps it's a moment where success seems just out of reach, tempting you to give up. These are not random, they're setups, designed to make you forget who you are. But you, chosen one, are not ordinary. You carry a divine spark that no darkness can extinguish. Think about Joseph in the Bible, sold into slavery, thrown into a pit, betrayed by those closest to him. Every step looked like a trap. The enemy thought they had him cornered, but God was working behind the scenes. Each trial was a setup for his rise to power. You're in a similar moment. What looks like a dead end is actually a doorway to your destiny. God is saying, hold fast. The trap is breaking. You're not stuck. You're being positioned for a miracle. The enemy's greatest weapon is deception. They want you to believe the lie that your struggles define you. But here's the truth. Your struggles are refining you. Every challenge you've faced has forged a strength that the enemy cannot touch. You're not just surviving, you're becoming a living testament to God's power. When the enemy tries to trap you with doubt, you respond with faith. When they throw obstacles, you walk through them with grace. That's why they're scrambling now, their plans are unraveling. Drop another 777 inches, the comments, to seal this truth. Let the heavens know you're not falling for the setup. Your faith is your shield, and it's stronger than any scheme the enemy can devise. God has already gone before you, dismantling every trap, clearing every path. You're not fighting for victory, you're walking in it. Let's shift to what God is doing right now. While the enemy plots, God is building. He's constructing a future for you that's bigger than your wildest dreams. The Bible says in Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you." This isn't just a promise, it's a divine guarantee. The enemy's trap is temporary, but God's plan is eternal. You're not just escaping, you're stepping into abundance. Picture this, a table set before you, overflowing with blessings, right in the presence of your enemies. Psalm 23:5 says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." That's what's happening now. The enemy thought they could starve your spirit, but God is serving a feast. Your health, your finances, your relationships, every area the enemy tried to attack is about to be restored. You're not just getting by, you're about to overflow. This is why you can't give in to the trap. The enemy wants you to focus on the struggle, but God wants you to see the victory. Maybe you've been praying for a breakthrough, and it feels like nothing's moving. That's the setup making you think God's forgotten you. But He hasn't. Every prayer you've spoken, every tear you've shed, has been collected by the Creator. He's turning your pain into power, your lack into abundance. Drop a 777 inches the comments one more time to claim this victory. Let the universe hear your faith. You're not just watching this video. You're stepping into a divine moment where the enemy's plans are exposed and God's promises are activated. If this message is speaking to you, hit that like button and subscribe to stand with thousands of chosen ones claiming their divine destiny. Now, let's talk about your role in this moment. As a chosen one, you're not just a bystander, you're a warrior of light. The enemy's trap isn't just about you. It's about stopping the impact you're destined to make. Your life is a beacon, a testimony that shakes the foundations of darkness. When you walk through this trap unbroken, you're showing the world what it means to trust God fully. Think of David facing Goliath. The enemy saw a giant, but David saw a target. He didn't focus on the size of the threat, he focused on the size of his God. You're in a David moment. The trap in front of you looks big, but your God is bigger. That financial struggle, it's a pebble. That broken relationship, it's already being healed. That dream you thought was dead, God's breathing life into it right now. The enemy's trap thrives on fear, but you're called to walk in faith. Fear says, "You'll never make it." Faith says, "God's already made a way." Fear says, "You're alone." Faith says, "God is with you." Every time you choose faith over fear, you dismantle another piece of the enemy's plan. You're not just escaping the trap, you're rewriting the story. This is your moment to stand tall. The enemy thought they could dim your light, but they didn't know you were forged in the fire of God's purpose. You're not fragile, you're unbreakable. You're not ordinary, you're extraordinary. The trap they set is backfiring, exposing their weakness and revealing your strength. Let's talk about what happens when the trap is exposed. The enemy's power lies in secrecy, in making you believe you're powerless. But God is pulling back the curtain. He's showing you the truth. You're not a victim, you're a victor. The moment you see the trap for what it is, just smoke and mirrors, it loses its hold. You're not bound by it anymore. You're free. This freedom isn't just for you, it's for everyone watching your life. When you walk through this trap, you're showing others they can too. Your family, your friends, even strangers, they're all watching how you handle this moment. Your faith is a spark that ignites hope in others. You're not just breaking free, you're leading a movement. The Bible says in Isaiah 54:17, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." That's not a suggestion, it's a fact. The enemy's trap is a weapon, and it's already failing. God's protection over you is stronger than any scheme. You're covered by His grace, shielded by His power, and guided by His hand. The enemy's setup is no match for God's setup. Now, imagine what's waiting on the other side of this trap. It's not just freedom, it's abundance. It's not just survival, it's thriving. God isn't delivering you to leave you empty-handed. He's delivering you into a season of overflow. Your finances are about to shift. Your health is about to be restored. Your purpose is about to become clearer than ever. The enemy wanted to stop you, but God is using this moment to propel you forward. This is why you can't give up now. The trap is exposed, but you have to keep walking. Every step you take in faith is a step toward the life God designed for you. The enemy's plan was to make you stumble, but God's plan is to make you soar. You're not just getting through this, you're coming out stronger, wiser, and more radiant than ever. Let's talk about the power of your light. As a chosen one, your presence alone disrupts the enemy's plans. You don't have to fight the darkness, you just have to shine. Your faith, your courage, your trust in God, they're like a beacon that scatters shadows. The enemy can't stand in your light because it reveals their weakness. Think of Esther in the Bible. She faced a trap that threatened her people's survival. The enemy thought they had the upper hand, but Esther's courage and faith turned the tables. She didn't just save herself, she saved a nation. You're in an Esther moment. The trap set for you is about to become a testimony of God's power in your life. Your light isn't just for you, it's for the world. Every time you refuse to fall for the enemy's setup, you're showing others what's possible. You're proving that God's promises are real, that His power is unstoppable, and that His chosen ones are untouchable. Your life is a living sermon, preaching hope to those still caught in the enemy's traps. Drop one final 777 inches the comments to declare that you're walking in this light. Let the heavens see your faith. You're not just a spectator, you're a participant in God's divine plan. The enemy's trap is exposed, and you're stepping into the victory God has already won for you. Now, let's talk about the shift happening in your spirit. When the enemy's trap is exposed, it's not just an external victory, it's an internal transformation. You're not the same person you were before this moment. God is renewing your mind, strengthening your heart, and sharpening your vision. You're seeing things you couldn't see before, believing things you didn't dare believe. This transformation is what the enemy fears most. They can handle your struggles, but they can't handle your growth. Every time you choose to trust God, you grow stronger. Every time you reject the enemy's lies, you become bolder. You're not just escaping a trap, you're becoming a force the enemy can't reckon with. The Bible says in Romans 12:2, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." That's what's happening now. Your mind is being rewired to see God's truth over the enemy's lies. Your heart is being filled with courage to face any challenge. Your spirit is being lifted to walk in the purpose God has called you to. The trap was meant to break you, but it's only making you unstoppable. This is your moment to embrace the new you. The enemy's setup was designed to keep you small, but God's plan is to make you soar. You're not just surviving this trap, you're stepping into a season of divine elevation. Your dreams, your purpose, your destiny, they're all coming into focus. The enemy tried to blur your vision, but God is making it crystal clear. Let's talk about the doors opening for you now. The enemy's trap was meant to block your path, but God is flinging wide the gates of opportunity. These aren't just any doors, they're divine connections, breakthroughs, and blessings tailored for you. The job you've been praying for, the healing you've been seeking, the peace you've been craving, they're all on the other side of this moment. The enemy thought they could lock you out, but God holds the keys. Revelation 3:7 says, "What He opens no one can shut, and what He shuts no one can open." The doors God is opening for you are unstoppable. No trap, no lie, no scheme can keep them closed. You're not just walking through, you're stepping into a new chapter of abundance. These doors aren't random, they're part of God's divine design for your life. Every trial you've faced, every trap you've overcome, has been preparing you for what's behind these doors. You're not just ready, You're anointed for this moment. The enemy's plan has backfired, and God's plan is taking center stage. Now, imagine the impact of your victory. When you walk through this trap unbroken, you're not just saving yourself, you're lighting the way for others. Your life becomes a testimony that God's power is greater than any trap. People will look at you and see the undeniable evidence of His faithfulness. Your story will inspire faith in those who've lost hope. This is why the enemy fought so hard to trap you. They know your influence, your light, your purpose. They know that when you break free, you'll lead others to freedom. You're not just a chosen one, you're a chain breaker, a hope bringer, a light in the darkness. The trap is exposed, and your victory is already shaking the heavens. Let's talk about the peace that comes with this moment. The enemy's trap was designed to steal your peace, but God is restoring it tenfold. John 16:33 says, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." Jesus spoke these words to remind you that no trap can steal what He's already secured. Your peace is untouchable. This peace isn't just calm, it's a fortress. It's the kind of peace that lets you sleep soundly in the middle of a storm. It's the peace that keeps you steady when the enemy tries to shake you. It's the peace that comes from knowing God's got you, no matter what. The trap is exposed, and your peace is restored. You're not just surviving this moment, you're thriving in it. The enemy wanted to make you anxious, but God is making you anchored. You're not just escaping the trap, you're stepping into a life of purpose, power, and peace. This is what it means to be God's chosen one. Now, let's talk about the fire in your spirit. The enemy's trap wasn't just an attack, it was a test. And you've passed with flying colors. Every moment you chose faith over fear, every time you refused to give in, you fanned the flames of your divine purpose. You're not just a spark, you're a wildfire, unstoppable and uncontainable. This fire is what sets you apart. It's why the enemy's traps can't hold you. It's why their lies can't sway you. It's why their schemes are falling apart. Your fire is God's power burning through you, consuming every obstacle and lighting up every path. The trap was meant to extinguish you, but it's only made you burn brighter. Think of Daniel in the lion's den. The enemy thought they had him trapped, but God turned the den into a stage for His glory. Daniel didn't just survive, he walked out untouched, with a testimony that shook a kingdom. You're in a Daniel moment. The trap is exposed, and your fire is about to shake the world. This fire isn't just for you, it's for everyone around you. Your passion, your faith, your resilience, they're contagious. When you walk through this trap, you're not just proving the enemy wrong, you're proving God right. You're showing the world that His promises are true, His power is real, and His chosen ones are unstoppable. Let's talk about the legacy you're building. The enemy's trap wasn't just about stopping you. It was about stopping the impact you're destined to make. But God is turning their plan upside down. Every step you take through this trap is laying the foundation for a legacy that will outlast you. Your victory is bigger than this moment, it's eternal. Your legacy isn't just about what you achieve, it's about who you inspire. The people watching your life, the generations that will hear your story, they'll know that God's power is greater than any trap. You're not just breaking free, you're paving the way for others to do the same. Your life is a living proof that God always wins. The Bible says in Psalm 112:3, "Wealth and riches are in their house, and their righteousness endures forever." This is your legacy, abundance, righteousness, and a testimony that stands the test of time. The enemy's trap was meant to rob you, but God is using it to establish you. You're not just escaping, you're building something eternal. Now, let's talk about the courage it takes to walk through this moment. The enemy's trap is designed to make you shrink back, but God is calling you to step forward. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the choice to move despite it. You're not just facing a trap, you're facing a choice. Will you let the enemy's lies define you, or will you let God's truth guide you? This courage is what makes you a chosen one. It's why the enemy fears you. They know that when you choose to walk in faith, no trap can hold you. They know that when you stand in God's truth, no lie can shake you. Your courage is a weapon, sharper than any sword, stronger than any scheme. Think of Moses at the Red Sea. The enemy thought they had him trapped, with an army behind and an ocean in front. But Moses didn't waver. He raised his staff, trusted God, and the sea parted. You're in a Red Sea moment. The trap is real, but so is God's power. Your courage is about to part the waters. This courage isn't just for you, it's for those who will follow your lead. When you walk through this trap with boldness, you're showing others what's possible. You're proving that faith triumphs over fear, that God's promises outweigh the enemy's threats. Your courage is a spark that will ignite hope in countless hearts. Let's talk about the divine timing of this moment. The enemy's trap wasn't random. It was timed to hit you when you felt weakest. But God's timing is perfect. He's using this moment to show you his strength. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." This is your season of victory, your time to rise. The enemy thought they could catch you off guard, but God was never surprised. He's been preparing you for this moment, equipping you with everything you need to overcome. The trap was meant to derail you, but God is using it to launch you into your destiny. His timing is aligning every detail, opening every door, and clearing every path. This divine timing means you don't have to force your way out of the trap. You just have to trust. God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating a breakthrough that will leave you in awe. What the enemy meant for harm, God is turning for good. Genesis 50:20 says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." That's your story right now. This moment is a turning point. The trap is exposed, and God's plan is unfolding. You're not just escaping, you're stepping into a season where everything aligns with his purpose for your life. The enemy's setup is crumbling, and God's setup is taking its place. Get ready, chosen one, your breakthrough is here. Let's talk about the strength you carry within. The enemy's trap was designed to make you feel weak, but God has placed a reservoir of strength inside you. Philippians 4:13 says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." That's not just a verse, it's your reality. The strength you need to overcome this trap is already yours. This strength isn't just physical, it's spiritual, emotional, and mental. It's the strength to keep going when the odds are against you. It's the strength to believe when doubt is loud. It's the strength to stand when the enemy wants you to fall. You're not just strong, you're divinely empowered. Think of Paul and Silas in prison. The enemy thought they had them trapped, locked in chains with no way out. But they didn't despair, they prayed and sang praises. And God sent an earthquake to break their chains. You're in a Paul and Silas moment. Your praises, your faith, your trust in God, they're shaking the foundations of the enemy's trap. This strength is what makes you unstoppable. The enemy can throw their worst at you, but they can't touch the power God has placed within you. You're not just breaking free, you're breaking through. Your strength is a testimony, a living proof that God's chosen ones are forged in his fire and cannot be defeated. Let's talk about the vision God is giving you now. The enemy's trap was meant to blind you, to make you lose sight of your purpose. But God is restoring your vision, sharper and clearer than ever. Habakkuk 2-3 says, "The vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come." Your vision is coming into focus, and no trap can stop it. This vision isn't just about your future, it's about your now. God is showing you who you are, what you're capable of, and where He's taking you. The enemy wanted to cloud your mind with doubt, but God is giving you clarity. You're seeing opportunities where you once saw obstacles, possibilities where you once saw dead ends. This vision is what will carry you through. It's the blueprint of your destiny, written by God's hand. The enemy's trap was a distraction, but God's vision is your direction. Every step you take now is guided by His light, leading you to a future that's bigger than you ever imagined. You're not just seeing with your eyes, you're seeing with your spirit. The Holy Spirit is opening your eyes to truths the enemy tried to hide. You're seeing the trap for what it is, a feeble attempt to stop what God has already ordained. Your vision is your power, and it's leading you straight to victory. Let's talk about the favor surrounding you. The enemy's trap was meant to isolate you, to make you feel forgotten. But God's favor is your shield, drawing divine connections and opportunities to you. Psalm 5:12 says, "Surely, Lord, you bless the righteous. You surround them with your favor as with a shield." You're not alone, you're favored. This favor isn't just luck, it's God's hand on your life. It's why doors are opening that should be closed. It's why people are stepping into your life to help you. It's why the enemy's plans are failing. God's favor is turning the trap into a stepping stone, lifting you higher than you ever thought possible. Think of Ruth in the Bible. She faced loss and uncertainty, but God's favor led her to Boaz's field. What looked like a trap became a testimony of provision and redemption. You're in a Ruth moment. The enemy thought they had you cornered, but God's favor is leading you to your Boaz, your breakthrough, your blessing. This favor is what sets you apart as a chosen one. It's why the enemy's traps can't hold you. It's why their lies can't define you. God's favor is your covering, your protection, your guarantee that no setup can stop what He's started in your life. Walk in that favor. Chosen one, it's yours. Let's talk about the joy waiting for you. The enemy's trap was designed to steal your joy, but God is restoring it in overflow. Nehemiah 8:10 says, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." This joy isn't just happiness, it's a supernatural force that carries you through every trial. The trap is exposed, and your joy is rising. This joy is what the enemy can't touch. They can throw obstacles, but they can't steal the peace in your heart. They can set traps, but they can't dim the light in your spirit. Your joy is a weapon, a declaration that God's promises are stronger than any scheme. You're not just surviving, you're rejoicing. Think of Jesus in the wilderness. The enemy tried to trap him with temptation, but Jesus walked out full of joy and power. You're in a wilderness moment, but you're coming out the same way, stronger, bolder, and filled with joy. The trap was meant to break you, but it's only making you shine brighter. This joy is contagious. It's not just for you, it's for everyone around you. When you walk through this trap with joy, you're showing the world that God's chosen ones don't just endure, they thrive. Your joy is a testimony, a light that draws others to the God who never fails. Let's talk about the authority you carry. The enemy's trap was meant to make you feel powerless, but God has given you authority to trample it. Luke 10:19 says, "I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions, and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you." You're not just escaping the trap, you're crushing it. This authority isn't something you earn, it's something God has given you. As a chosen one, you walk with the power of the Creator. The enemy's traps are no match for the authority in your spirit. When you speak, mountains move. When you pray, chains break. When you stand, the enemy flees. Think of Elijah calling down fire from heaven. The enemy thought they had the upper hand, but Elijah's authority proved them wrong. You're in an Elijah moment. The trap is real, but your authority is greater. You're not just walking through, you're commanding the trap to bow to God's will. This authority is what makes you a force. The enemy's setup was meant to intimidate you, but you're intimidating them. Your prayers, your faith, your unshakable trust in God, they're shaking the foundations of darkness. You're not just a chosen one, you're a divine warrior, and the trap is already defeated. Let's talk about the restoration coming your way. The enemy's trap was meant to rob you, but God is restoring everything you've lost. Joel 2:25 says, "I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten." The time, the opportunities, the peace the enemy tried to steal, God is giving it all back and more. This restoration isn't just about getting back what was taken, it's about receiving better than before. The enemy thought they could leave you empty, but God is filling you to overflow. Your finances, your health, your relationships, they're not just being restored, they're being transformed into something greater. Think of Job in the Bible. The enemy took everything, thinking they had won, but God restored Job with double what he lost. You're in a Job moment. The trap was meant to destroy you, but God is using it to rebuild you. What the enemy took, God is multiplying. Your restoration is a testimony of His faithfulness. This restoration is your inheritance as a chosen one. The enemy's trap was a temporary setback, but God's restoration is eternal. You're not just coming out of this trap, you're coming out with more than you had before. The enemy's plan has failed, and God's plan is prevailing. Let's talk about the confidence you're stepping into. The enemy's trap was meant to shake your confidence, but God is making you bold. Hebrews 10:35 says, "Do not throw away your confidence, it will be richly rewarded." Your confidence isn't in yourself, it's in the God who chose you. The trap is exposed, and your boldness is rising. This confidence is what carries you forward. It's why you can face any challenge without fear. It's why you can walk through any trap without hesitation. Your confidence is rooted in God's promises, and those promises are unshakable. The enemy tried to make you doubt, but God is making you certain. Think of Peter walking on water. The storm was raging, the trap was set, but Peter's confidence in Jesus kept him above the waves. You're in a Peter moment. The trap is real, but your confidence is stronger. You're not just walking through, you're walking on the waves, defying the enemy's plans. This confidence is what makes you a chosen one. It's why the enemy's traps can't hold you. It's why their lies can't sway you. You're not just escaping the trap, you're stepping into a boldness that will carry you into every promise God has for you. The enemy's setup is crumbling, and your confidence is soaring. Let's talk about the protection surrounding you. The enemy's trap was meant to harm you, but God's protection is your fortress. Psalm 91:4 says, "He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge." No trap can penetrate God's shield. You're not just safe, you're untouchable. This protection isn't just a feeling, it's a divine reality. The enemy can scheme, but they can't touch what God has covered. Every trap they set is being dismantled by the Creator Himself. You're not just escaping, you're walking under the shadow of His wings, secure in His care. Think of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. The enemy thought the fire would consume them, but God's protection kept them untouched. You're in a fiery furnace moment. The trap is hot, but God's protection is stronger. You're not just surviving, you're coming out without even the smell of smoke. This protection is what sets you apart. The enemy's traps can't reach you because God's hand is over you. You're not just a chosen one, you're a guarded one, sealed by His promise. The trap is exposed, and God's protection is ensuring your victory. Walk in that truth. Chosen one, nothing can harm you. Let's talk about the clarity you're gaining in this moment. The enemy's trap was designed to cloud your judgment, to make you second-guess every move. But God is sharpening your mind, giving you a vision so clear it cuts through the fog of deception. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." The trap is exposed, and your path is becoming clear. This clarity isn't just about seeing the trap, it's about seeing your purpose. The enemy wanted you to stumble in confusion, but God is guiding your steps with precision. You're starting to understand why things happened the way they did, why certain doors closed, and why others are opening now. Every moment of uncertainty was preparing you for this moment of divine focus. Think of Nehemiah rebuilding Jerusalem's walls. The enemy tried to distract him with threats and lies, but Nehemiah stayed focused, his vision unwavering. You're in a Nehemiah moment. The trap was meant to derail you, but God's clarity is keeping you on track. You're not just seeing through the enemy's schemes, you're seeing the blueprint of your destiny. This clarity is your weapon. It's why the enemy can't mislead you anymore. It's why their traps are falling apart. You're not just escaping, you're moving forward with a purpose so sharp, it pierces every lie. Your clarity is a gift from God, and it's leading you straight to the life He promised. Now, let's talk about the restoration of your voice. The enemy's trap was meant to silence you, to make you feel your words don't matter. But God is amplifying your voice, giving you the power to speak life into every situation. Isaiah 55:11 says, "So is my word that goes out from my mouth. It will not return to me empty." Your words, aligned with God's truth, are unstoppable. The trap is exposed, and your voice is rising. This restored voice isn't just about speaking, it's about declaring. The enemy wanted you to stay quiet, to doubt your authority. But God is calling you to proclaim His promises. Every time you speak faith, you dismantle another piece of the trap. Your words are a weapon, breaking chains and opening doors. Think of Ezekiel in the valley of dry bones. The enemy thought those bones were dead, but God told Ezekiel to speak, and life returned. You're in an Ezekiel moment. The trap was meant to bury your dreams, but your voice is bringing them back to life. You're not just speaking, you're commanding restoration. Your voice is what makes you a chosen one. It's why the enemy tried to silence you. But God is giving you a platform, a message, a purpose that will echo through generations. The trap is crumbling, and your voice is shaking the heavens. Speak boldly, chosen one, your words are changing everything. Let's talk about the divine connections coming your way. The enemy's trap was meant to isolate you, to cut you off from the people God has for you. But He's aligning you with divine relationships that will elevate your purpose. Ecclesiastes 4:9 says, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor." The trap is exposed, and God's connections are stepping into your life. These connections aren't random, they're orchestrated. The enemy wanted you to feel alone, but God is surrounding you with people who see your light, who share your vision, who will walk with you into your destiny. These are the relationships that will amplify your impact, strengthen your faith, and open new doors. Think of Jonathan and David in the Bible. The enemy tried to tear them apart, but their bond was divinely appointed, a source of strength for both. You're in a Jonathan and David moment. The trap was meant to leave you lonely, but God is bringing allies who will stand with you. You're not just escaping, you're building a community of purpose. These divine connections are your strength. They're why the enemy's isolation tactics are failing. You're not just a chosen one, you're a connector, a bridge, a light that draws others together. The trap is broken, and God's people are gathering around you. Embrace these relationships, they're part of His plan. Let's talk about the freedom you're stepping into. The enemy's trap was designed to chain you, to keep you bound by fear and doubt. But God is breaking every chain, setting you free to live the life He designed. John 8:36 says, "So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed." The trap is exposed, and your freedom is here. This freedom isn't just about escaping the trap, it's about living without limits. The enemy wanted to confine your spirit, but God is releasing you into a life of boundless possibility. You're not just free from the trap, you're free to dream, to create, to soar. Every chain is breaking, and your spirit is rising. Think of the Israelites leaving Egypt. The enemy thought they were trapped in slavery, but God led them through the Red Sea to freedom. You're in an Exodus moment. The trap was real, but God's deliverance is greater. You're not just walking out, you're marching into a promised land of purpose and abundance. This freedom is what makes you unstoppable. The enemy's chains can't hold you because God's power has set you free. You're not just a chosen one, you're a liberated one, walking in the fullness of God's plan. The trap is shattered, and your freedom is a testimony to His glory. Live in it, chosen one. Nothing can hold you back. Let's talk about the wisdom God is pouring into you. The enemy's trap was meant to confuse you, to make you question your decisions. But God is filling you with wisdom that surpasses human understanding. James 1-5 says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault." The trap is exposed, and your wisdom is growing. This wisdom isn't just knowledge, it's divine insight. The enemy wanted you to stumble in the dark, but God is giving you a lamp to light your path. You're starting to see solutions where you once saw problems, opportunities where you once saw barriers. This wisdom is guiding you through the trap and into your purpose. Think of Solomon, who asked for wisdom and received it in abundance. The enemy thought they could outsmart him, but God's wisdom made him untouchable. You're in a Solomon moment. The trap was meant to trick you, but God's wisdom is leading you to victory. You're not just escaping, you're outsmarting the enemy's plans. This wisdom is your edge. It's why the enemy's traps can't fool you anymore. You're not just a chosen one, you're a wise one, equipped with God's insight to navigate any challenge. The trap is falling apart, and your wisdom is paving the way to your destiny. Trust it, chosen one, it's your guide. Let's talk about the abundance waiting for you. The enemy's trap was designed to keep you in lack, to make you feel you'll never have enough. But God is opening the floodgates of heaven, pouring out blessings you can't contain. Malachi 3:10 says, "See if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it." The trap is exposed, and your abundance is coming. This abundance isn't just financial, it's spiritual, emotional, and relational. The enemy wanted you to live in scarcity, but God is calling you to a life of overflow. Your dreams, your health, your relationships, they're all about to be flooded with His goodness. The trap was meant to limit you, but God's blessings are limitless. Think of the feeding of the 5,000. The enemy saw only a few loaves and fish, but Jesus saw abundance. You're in a 5 to 1,000 moment. The trap was meant to starve you, but God is multiplying what you have. You're not just surviving, you're thriving in His overflow. This abundance is your birthright as a chosen one. The enemy's trap can't stop what God has promised. You're not just escaping, you're stepping into a life where every need is met, every dream is fueled, and every step is blessed. The trap is broken, and your abundance is flowing. Receive it. Chosen one, it's yours. Let's talk about the healing God is bringing you. The enemy's trap was meant to wound you, to leave scars on your heart and spirit. But God is your healer, restoring every broken place. Psalm 147:3 says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. The trap is exposed, and your healing is beginning. This healing isn't just physical, it's deep, touching every part of your being. The enemy wanted to leave you hurting, but God is mending your heart, renewing your mind, and restoring your spirit. Every wound from the trap, every pain from the past is being touched by His hand, transformed into strength. Think of the woman at the well. The enemy thought her past would define her, but Jesus met her with healing and purpose. You're in a woman at the well moment. The trap was meant to shame you, but God's healing is setting you free. You're not just recovering, you're being made whole. This healing is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's wounds can't hold you because God's touch is stronger. You're not just escaping the trap, you're emerging stronger, healthier, and more radiant than ever. The trap is shattered, and your healing is a testimony to His power. Embrace it. Chosen one, it's your time to be whole. Let's talk about the purpose God is revealing in you. The enemy's trap was meant to make you feel aimless, like your life has no direction. But God is unveiling a purpose so powerful, it will redefine everything. Ephesians 2:10 says, For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. The trap is exposed, and your purpose is shining. This purpose isn't just a job or a goal, it's your reason for being. The enemy wanted you to wander, but God is calling you to a mission that only you can fulfill. You're starting to see why you've been through what you've been through, why you've faced the traps you've faced. It's all been leading to this. Think of Jonah, called to Nineveh. The enemy tried to trap him in the belly of a fish, but God's purpose was bigger. You're in a Jonah moment. The trap was meant to swallow you, but God's purpose is pulling you out. You're not just escaping, you're stepping into a calling that will change lives. This purpose is what sets you apart. The enemy's trap can't stop what God has destined. You're not just a chosen one, you're a purpose-driven one, created for impact. The trap is crumbling, and your purpose is rising. Walk in it. Chosen one, it's your time to shine. Let's talk about the resilience God has built in you. The enemy's trap was meant to wear you down, to make you give up. But God has made you resilient, able to withstand any storm. Isaiah 40:31 says, Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. The trap is exposed, and your resilience is soaring. This resilience isn't just stubbornness, it's divine endurance. The enemy wanted to exhaust you, but God has given you a strength that doesn't quit. Every trial, every trap, has only made you tougher, more determined, more unbreakable. You're not just surviving, you're thriving under pressure. Think of Paul, shipwrecked, beaten, and imprisoned. The enemy thought they could break him, but Paul's resilience turned trials into testimonies. You're in a Paul moment. The trap was meant to crush you, but God's strength is lifting you higher. You're not just enduring, you're excelling. This resilience is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's traps can't break you because God's power sustains you. You're not just escaping, you're rising above, stronger than ever. The trap is defeated, and your resilience is a testament to His faithfulness. Stand tall, chosen one, you're unstoppable. Let's talk about the light you're radiating. The enemy's trap was meant to dim your shine, to make you feel small, but God is amplifying your light, making you a beacon in the darkness. Matthew 5:16 says, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." The trap is exposed, and your light is blazing. This light isn't just brightness, it's divine radiance. The enemy wanted to hide you, but God is placing you on a hill where your shine can't be ignored. Your faith, your love, your courage, they're drawing people to you, inspiring them to seek God. You're not just glowing, you're illuminating. Think of the star that led the wise men to Jesus. The enemy couldn't stop its light, and it guided others to truth. You're in a star moment. The trap was meant to obscure you, but God's light in you is guiding others. You're not just escaping, you're leading with your radiance. This light is your power as a chosen one. The enemy's darkness can't overcome it because God's light in you is eternal. The trap is fading, and your light is transforming lives. Shine boldly, chosen one. Your radiance is changing the world. Let's talk about the faith that's carrying you through. The enemy's trap was meant to shake your trust, to make you question God's goodness. But your faith is a rock, unshaken by any scheme. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance about what we do not see." The trap is exposed, and your faith is standing firm. This faith isn't just belief, it's certainty. The enemy wanted you to waver, but God has anchored you in His promises. Every doubt they tried to plant, every fear they tried to stir, is being crushed by your trust in God. You're not just believing, you're living your faith. Think of Abraham, called to sacrifice Isaac. The enemy thought they could break his trust, but Abraham's faith turned a test into a testimony. You're in an Abraham moment. The trap was meant to shake you, but your faith is proving God's faithfulness. You're not just escaping, you're walking in divine assurance. This faith is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's traps can't move you because your trust in God is immovable. The trap is falling apart, and your faith is paving the way to victory. Hold fast, chosen one. Your faith is your foundation. Let's talk about the transformation happening in your heart. The enemy's trap was meant to harden you, to make you bitter, but God is softening your heart, filling it with love and compassion. Ezekiel 36:26 says, "I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit in you." The trap is exposed, and your heart is being renewed. This new heart isn't just emotional, it's divine. The enemy wanted you to close off, to protect yourself with walls, but God is opening you to His love. You're starting to see others through His eyes, to forgive where you once held grudges, to love where you once felt pain. You're not just healing, you're becoming a vessel of His grace. Think of Mary Magdalene, transformed by Jesus' love. The enemy thought her past would trap her, but Jesus gave her a new heart and a new purpose. You're in a Mary Magdalene moment. The trap was meant to define you, but God's love is redefining you. You're not just escaping, you're becoming a beacon of His mercy. This new heart is what sets you apart as a chosen one. The enemy's bitterness can't touch you, because God's love is stronger. The trap is broken, and your heart is radiating His light. Embrace it, chosen one. Your love is changing everything. Let's talk about the opportunities God is bringing you. The enemy's trap was meant to close doors, to limit your future. But God is opening opportunities that no one can shut. Revelation 3:8 says, "I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut." The trap is exposed, and your opportunities are multiplying. These opportunities aren't just chances, they're divine appointments. The enemy wanted to block your path, but God is paving it with possibilities. New jobs, new relationships, new dreams, they're all aligning with His plan for you. You're not just escaping the trap, you're stepping into a season of divine favor. Think of Joseph, promoted from prison to palace. The enemy thought they had locked him away, but God opened doors no one could close. You're in a Joseph moment. The trap was meant to confine you, but God's opportunities are setting you free. You're not just moving forward, you're leaping into your destiny. These opportunities are your inheritance as a chosen one. The enemy's traps can't stop what God has opened. You're not just a survivor, you're a trailblazer, walking through doors designed just for you. The trap is defeated, and your future is wide open. Seize it, chosen one, it's yours. Let's talk about the peace God is anchoring in your soul. The enemy's trap was meant to stir chaos, to keep you restless. But God is planting a peace that surpasses understanding. Philippians 4:7 says, "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." The trap is exposed, and your peace is unshakable. This peace isn't just calm, it's a fortress. The enemy wanted to keep you anxious, but God is grounding you in His presence. No matter what storms come, no matter what traps are set, your soul is anchored in His unchanging love. You're not just surviving, you're resting in His care. Think of Jesus sleeping in the boat during the storm. The enemy thought the waves would overwhelm him, but his peace was stronger. You're in a Jesus moment. The trap was meant to drown you, but God's peace is keeping you steady. You're not just escaping, you're resting in His victory. This peace is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's chaos can't touch you because God's peace is your shield. The trap is crumbling and your soul is secure. Rest in it. Chosen one, your peace is a testimony to His power. Let's talk about the strength of your spirit. The enemy's trap was meant to weaken you, to make you feel defeated. But God is fortifying your spirit, making you stronger than ever. 2 Corinthians 4:8-9 says, "We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned." The trap is exposed, and your spirit is rising. This strength isn't just resilience, it's divine power. The enemy wanted to break your spirit, but God is filling it with His might. Every trial you've faced has only made you tougher, more determined, more aligned with His purpose. You're not just enduring, you're overpowering. Think of Samson, who found strength in his weakest moment. The enemy thought they had trapped him, but God's power surged through him. You're in a Samson moment. The trap was meant to bind you, but God's strength is breaking every chain. You're not just escaping, you're shattering the enemy's plans. This strength is what sets you apart as a chosen one. The enemy's traps can't weaken you because God's power is your source. The trap is defeated, and your spirit is soaring. Stand strong, chosen one. Your strength is unstoppable. Let's talk about the hope God is igniting in you. The enemy's trap was meant to steal your hope, to make you feel the future is bleak. But God is kindling a hope that burns brighter than any darkness. Romans 15:13 says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." The trap is exposed, and your hope is blazing. This hope isn't just optimism, it's divine assurance. The enemy wanted you to despair, but God is filling you with a vision of his promises. You're starting to see a future where every trap is turned into triumph, every loss into gain. You're not just hoping, you're expecting. Think of Noah building the ark. The enemy mocked him, thinking he was trapped in a foolish dream. But Noah's hope in God's promise saved him. You're in a Noah moment. The trap was meant to drown your dreams, but God's hope is keeping you afloat. You're not just surviving, you're building for the future. This hope is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's despair can't touch you because God's hope is your anchor. The trap is broken, and your hope is lighting the way. Hold on to it, chosen one. Your hope is a beacon for the world. Let's talk about the love God is pouring into you. The enemy's trap was meant to make you feel unloved, unworthy, alone. But God is flooding your heart with his unconditional love. 1 John 4:16 says, God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God, and God in them. The trap is exposed, and his love is transforming you. This love isn't just a feeling, it's a force. The enemy wanted you to feel rejected, but God is reminding you that you are his beloved. His love is washing away every lie, every wound, every doubt planted by the trap. You're not just loved, you're cherished beyond measure. Think of the prodigal son who thought he was trapped in his mistakes. The enemy wanted him to stay lost, but the Father's love welcomed him home. You're in a prodigal son moment. The trap was meant to keep you away, but God's love is drawing you close. You're not just returning, you're being embraced. This love is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's rejection can't touch you because God's love is your foundation. The trap is shattered, and his love is making you whole. Rest in it, chosen one. His love is your home. Let's talk about the victory God has already won for you. The enemy's trap was meant to make you feel defeated, but God has declared your victory. 1 Corinthians 15:57 says, But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. The trap is exposed, and your victory is sealed. This victory isn't just a future hope, it's a present reality. The enemy wanted you to believe you've lost, but God has already won the battle. Every trap they set is proof of their desperation, not your defeat. You're not just overcoming, you're reigning in his victory. Think of Jesus on the cross. The enemy thought they had trapped him, but his death was the ultimate victory. You're in a cross moment. The trap was meant to end you, but God is using it to elevate you. You're not just escaping, you're rising in triumph. This victory is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's traps can't stop you because God's victory is your inheritance. The trap is defeated, and your triumph is shining. Walk in it, chosen one. Your victory is eternal. Let's talk about the divine alignment God is orchestrating in your life. The enemy's trap was designed to throw you off course, to make you miss your divine appointment. But God is aligning every detail, placing you exactly where you need to be. Isaiah 55:9 says, As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways. The trap is exposed, and your alignment is perfect. This alignment isn't just about timing, it's about destiny. The enemy wanted to disrupt your path, but God is synchronizing every step with his plan. People, opportunities, and resources are coming together in ways you couldn't have planned. You're not just moving forward, you're moving in divine rhythm. Think of Esther, positioned as queen at the exact moment her people needed her. The enemy thought they could trap her nation, but God's alignment made her unstoppable. You're in an Esther moment. The trap was meant to misplace you, but God's alignment is setting you in place. You're not just escaping, you're stepping into divine purpose. This alignment is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's chaos can't derail you because God's order is your guide. The trap is crumbling and your life is aligning with His perfect will. Trust it, chosen one. Your steps are divinely ordered. Let's talk about the courage God is igniting in your actions. The enemy's trap was meant to paralyze you, to make you hesitate at every turn. But God is filling you with boldness to act on His promises. Joshua 1-9 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you." The trap is exposed, and your courage is rising. This courage isn't just bravery, it's divine audacity. The enemy wanted you to freeze, but God is pushing you to move. Every step you take in faith dismantles their plans, turning their traps into stepping stones. You're not just acting, you're advancing with divine authority. Think of Gideon, called to lead with only a small army. The enemy thought they had him trapped, but his courage in God's command crushed their plans. You're in a Gideon moment. The trap was meant to intimidate you, but God's courage is making you bold. You're not just escaping, you're charging toward victory. This courage is what sets you apart as a chosen one. The enemy's fear can't stop you because God's boldness is your strength. The trap is broken, and your actions are shaking the heavens. Move forward, chosen one. Your courage is unstoppable. Let's talk about the revelation God is unveiling to you. The enemy's trap was meant to keep you in the dark, to hide the truth of your calling. But God is revealing His mysteries, opening your eyes to His plan. 1 Corinthians 2:10 says, "The Spirit searches all things, even the deep things of God." The trap is exposed, and your revelation is dawning. This revelation isn't just knowledge, it's divine understanding. The enemy wanted to blind you, but God is showing you truths that change everything. You're seeing your purpose, your power, and your place in His plan with new clarity. You're not just learning, you're awakening. Think of Daniel, who received visions in the midst of captivity. The enemy thought they could trap his mind, but God's revelations made him a prophet. You're in a Daniel moment. The trap was meant to obscure your purpose, but God's revelation is illuminating it. You're not just escaping, you're stepping into divine insight. This revelation is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's darkness can't hide you because God's truth is your light. The trap is fading, and your understanding is growing. Embrace it, chosen one. Your revelation is your power. Let's talk about the rest God is giving you. The enemy's trap was meant to exhaust you, to drain your energy and spirit. But God is calling you into His rest, renewing your strength in His presence. Matthew 11:28 says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." The trap is exposed, and your rest is restored. This rest isn't just sleep, it's divine peace. The enemy wanted to keep you striving, but God is inviting you to abide in Him. In His rest, you find strength that doesn't depend on your effort. You're not just recovering, you're being refreshed for your purpose. Think of Elijah, weary from battle, sustained by God's provision under the broom tree. The enemy thought they could wear him out, but God's rest revived him. You're in an Elijah moment. The trap was meant to deplete you, but God's rest is renewing you. You're not just escaping, you're thriving in His peace. This rest is what sets you apart as a chosen one. The enemy's chaos can't drain you because God's rest is your source. The trap is defeated, and your spirit is refreshed. Rest in Him, chosen one. Your peace is your strength. Let's talk about the breakthrough God is releasing in your life. The enemy's trap was meant to block your progress, to keep you stuck. But God is breaking through every barrier, setting you free to move forward. Zechariah 4:7 says, "What are you, mighty mountain? Before Zerubbabel you will become level ground." The trap is exposed, and your breakthrough is here. This breakthrough isn't just a moment, it's a movement. The enemy wanted to hold you back, but God is pushing you forward with unstoppable momentum. Every obstacle, every delay is crumbling before His power. You're not just moving, you're surging into your destiny. Think of the walls of Jericho, standing tall against Israel. The enemy thought they were trapped, but God's power brought the walls down. You're in a Jericho moment. The trap was meant to stop you, but God's breakthrough is clearing the way. You're not just escaping, you're conquering. This breakthrough is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's barriers can't hold you because God's power is your force. The trap is shattered and your path is open. Run toward it. Chosen one, your breakthrough is unstoppable. Let's talk about the joy God is restoring in your spirit. The enemy's trap was meant to steal your happiness, to make you feel joyless. But God is pouring out joy that overflows in your soul. Psalm 16:11 says, "You make known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence." The trap is exposed, and your joy is overflowing. This joy isn't just a feeling, it's a divine gift. The enemy wanted to weigh you down, but God is lifting your spirit with His delight. Every moment of sorrow is being replaced with laughter. Every tear with celebration. You're not just smiling, you're radiating His joy. Think of Hannah, who wept for a child but rejoiced when God answered her prayer. The enemy thought her barrenness was a trap, but God's joy turned it into a testimony. You're in a Hannah moment. The trap was meant to break your heart, but God's joy is making it whole. You're not just escaping, you're dancing in His presence. This joy is what sets you apart as a chosen one. The enemy's sorrow can't touch you because God's joy is your strength. The trap is broken and your spirit is soaring. Rejoice, chosen one. Your joy is a testimony to His goodness. Let's talk about the protection God has placed over your future. The enemy's trap was meant to sabotage your tomorrow, to make you fear what's next. But God is guarding your future with His promises. Psalm 121:8 says, "The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore." The trap is exposed, and your future is secure. This protection isn't just a shield, it's a divine guarantee. The enemy wanted to steal your hope, but God is securing every step of your journey. Your dreams, your plans, your destiny, they're all under His watchful eye. You're not just safe, you're destined for greatness. Think of Noah building the ark while the world mocked him. The enemy thought the flood would trap him, but God's protection saved him. You're in a Noah moment. The trap was meant to destroy your future, but God's protection is preserving it. You're not just escaping, you're building for eternity. This protection is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's plans can't touch you because God's hand is over you. The trap is defeated, and your future is bright. Walk confidently. Chosen one, your tomorrow is in His hands. Let's talk about the confidence God is building in your decisions. The enemy's trap was meant to make you doubt every choice, to keep you second-guessing. But God is giving you confidence to choose with clarity. Proverbs 16:9 says, "In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps." The trap is exposed, and your confidence is growing. This confidence isn't just self-assurance, it's divine certainty. The enemy wanted you to waver, but God is guiding your decisions with His wisdom. Every choice you make in faith is aligning you with His plan. You're not just deciding, you're walking in divine direction. Think of Deborah leading Israel with bold decisions. The enemy thought they could trap her people, but her confidence in God's guidance won the day. You're in a Deborah moment. The trap was meant to confuse you, but God's confidence is leading you. You're not just escaping, you're choosing victory. This confidence is what sets you apart as a chosen one. The enemy's doubt can't sway you because God's guidance is your anchor. The trap is crumbling, and your decisions are shaping your destiny. Choose boldly. Chosen one, your path is clear. Let's talk about the restoration of your dreams. The enemy's trap was meant to bury your aspirations, to make you believe they're impossible. But God is breathing life into your dreams, making them real. Habakkuk 2:2 says, "Write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets so that a herald may run with it." The trap is exposed, and your dreams are rising. This restoration isn't just hope, it's divine revival. The enemy wanted you to abandon your vision, but God is bringing it back to life. Dreams you thought were dead are stirring, ready to become reality. You're not just dreaming, you're stepping into fulfillment. Think of Joseph, whose dreams seemed lost in a prison cell. The enemy thought they had trapped him, but God's plan brought those dreams to life. You're in a Joseph moment. The trap was meant to kill your vision, but God's restoration is making it real. You're not just escaping, you're living your dreams. This restoration is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's traps can't bury your dreams because God's power is bringing them to life. The trap is broken, and your vision is clear. Run with it. Chosen one, your dreams are coming true. Let's talk about the strength of your community. The enemy's trap was meant to isolate you, to make you feel unsupported, but God is building a community around you, filled with people who uplift and strengthen you. Hebrews 10:24-5 says, "Let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together." The trap is exposed, and your community is growing. This community isn't just friends, it's a divine network. The enemy wanted you to feel alone, but God is surrounding you with people who share your faith, your vision, your purpose. These connections are strengthening you, amplifying your impact. You're not just supported, you're unstoppable together. Think of the early church, united in the face of persecution. The enemy thought they could trap them, but their community made them stronger. You're in an early church moment. The trap was meant to divide you, but God's community is uniting you. You're not just escaping, you're building a legacy together. This community is what sets you apart as a chosen one. The enemy's isolation can't touch you, because God's people are your strength. The trap is defeated, and your community is rising. Lean into it. Chosen one, your people are with you. Let's talk about the divine fire God is igniting in your soul. The enemy's trap was designed to extinguish your passion, to make you feel cold and lifeless. But God is kindling a flame within you that burns brighter than any darkness. Isaiah 43:2 says, "When you walk through the Tektar, fire, you will not be burned, the flames will not set you ablaze." The trap is exposed, and your fire is blazing. This fire isn't just enthusiasm, it's divine zeal. The enemy wanted to dampen your spirit, but God is fueling it with his purpose. Every trial you've faced has only added fuel to this flame, making you more passionate, more driven, more alive. You're not just surviving, you're burning with divine energy. Think of Jeremiah, called the weeping prophet, yet his words carried God's fire. The enemy thought they could silence him, but his passion burned through their traps. You're in a Jeremiah moment. The trap was meant to quench your spirit, but God's fire is making you unstoppable. You're not just escaping, you're igniting a revolution. This fire is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's schemes can't extinguish you, because God's flame is your strength. The trap is consumed, and your passion is lighting the way. Burn brightly. Chosen one, your fire is changing the world. Let's talk about the divine timing God is weaving into your story. The enemy's trap was meant to rush you, to make you feel you're running out of time. But God's timing is perfect, aligning every moment for your victory. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." The trap is exposed, and your season is unfolding. This timing isn't just coincidence, it's divine orchestration. The enemy wanted you to panic, but God is teaching you to trust his rhythm. Every delay, every waiting season is preparing you for a breakthrough that's perfectly timed. You're not just waiting, you're stepping into God's schedule. Think of Sarah, who waited decades for a child. The enemy thought her time had passed, but God's timing brought Isaac. You're in a Sarah moment. The trap was meant to make you give up, but God's timing is making you ready. You're not just escaping, you're entering your appointed season. This timing is what sets you apart as a chosen one. The enemy's rush can't derail you because God's clock is your guide. The trap is fading and your moment is here. Trust it, chosen one. Your time is now. Let's talk about the divine authority God is placing on your life. The enemy's trap was meant to make you feel powerless, to strip you of influence. But God is crowning you with authority to command your destiny. Matthew 28:18 says, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me." Through Christ, that authority is yours. The trap is exposed, and your authority is rising. This authority isn't just power, it's divine mandate. The enemy wanted you to feel small, but God is calling you to speak, to act, to lead with his backing. Every word you speak in faith carries the weight of heaven, breaking every chain. You're not just speaking, you're decreeing. Think of Moses before Pharaoh. The enemy thought they could trap him in fear, but God's authority made him bold. You're in a Moses moment. The trap was meant to silence you, but God's authority is amplifying you. You're not just escaping, you're commanding victory. This authority is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's traps can't diminish you because God's power is your crown. The trap is shattered, and your voice is shaking the heavens. Speak boldly, chosen one, your authority is unstoppable. Let's talk about the divine provision God is releasing for you. The enemy's trap was meant to keep you in lack, to make you feel you'll never have enough. But God is opening storehouses of provision to meet every need. Deuteronomy 28:12 says, "The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty." The trap is exposed, and your provision is flowing. This provision isn't just money, it's everything you need. The enemy wanted you to scrape by, but God is giving you more than enough resources, opportunities, support. Your needs are being met in ways you never imagined. You're not just surviving, you're overflowing with his supply. Think of the widow with a jar of oil. The enemy thought her poverty was a trap, but God's provision filled every vessel. You're in a widow's moment. The trap was meant to empty you, but God's provision is filling you. You're not just escaping, you're walking in abundance. This provision is what sets you apart as a chosen one. The enemy's lack can't touch you because God's bounty is your source. The trap is broken and your supply is endless. Receive it, chosen one, your provision is here. Let's talk about the divine peace God is anchoring in your heart. The enemy's trap was meant to stir unrest, to keep you anxious and unsettled. But God is planting a peace that holds you steady in any storm. John 14:27 says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you." The trap is exposed, and your peace is unshakable. This peace isn't just calm, it's divine stability. The enemy wanted to keep you restless, but God is grounding you in his presence. No matter what chaos surrounds you, your heart remains steady, rooted in His love. You're not just coping, you're resting in His calm. Think of Jesus walking on water. The enemy thought the storm would trap His disciples, but His peace kept them safe. You're in a Jesus moment. The trap was meant to overwhelm you, but God's peace is holding you firm. You're not just escaping, you're walking above the waves. This peace is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's chaos can't shake you because God's peace is your anchor. The trap is defeated, and your heart is secure. Rest in it, chosen one. Your peace is eternal. Let's talk about the divine vision God is planting in your spirit. The enemy's trap was meant to blind you, to make you lose sight of your future. But God is giving you a vision that sees beyond the trap. Proverbs 29:18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." The trap is exposed, and your vision is clear. This vision isn't just a dream, it's divine direction. The enemy wanted you to wander, but God is showing you the path He's prepared. You're seeing opportunities, possibilities, and promises that the trap tried to hide. You're not just looking, you're seeing with God's eyes. Think of Abraham, who saw a nation in a single promise. The enemy thought his age was a trap, but God's vision gave him hope. You're in an Abraham moment. The trap was meant to limit you, but God's vision is expanding you. You're not just escaping, you're stepping into a future of promise. This vision is what sets you apart as a chosen one. The enemy's blindness can't stop you because God's sight is your guide. The trap is fading, and your future is bright. See it, chosen one. Your vision is your power. Let's talk about the divine strength God is building in your character. The enemy's trap was meant to weaken your resolve, to make you compromise. But God is forging a character that stands firm in every trial. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest." The trap is exposed, and your character is shining. This strength isn't just endurance, it's divine integrity. The enemy wanted you to bend, but God is making you unbreakable. Every choice you make to stand for truth strengthens your soul, aligning you with His purpose. You're not just holding on, you're standing tall. Think of Job, who faced loss after loss. The enemy thought suffering would trap him, but his character held firm. You're in a Job moment. The trap was meant to break your spirit, but God's strength is building your resolve. You're not just escaping, you're rising with integrity. This character is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's pressure can't crush you because God's strength is your core. The trap is broken, and your character is a testimony. Stand firm, chosen one. Your integrity is your legacy. Let's talk about the divine favor God is pouring over your life. The enemy's trap was meant to block your blessings, to make you feel overlooked. But God is surrounding you with favor that opens every door. Psalm 84:11 says, "The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does He withhold." The trap is exposed, and your favor is overflowing. This favor isn't just luck, it's divine privilege. The enemy wanted you to feel forgotten, but God is placing you in positions of influence and opportunity. People are noticing you, doors are opening, and blessings are flowing. You're not just blessed, you're divinely favored. Think of David, anointed as king while still a shepherd. The enemy thought his youth was a trap, but God's favor made him a leader. You're in a David moment. The trap was meant to hold you back, but God's favor is pushing you forward. You're not just escaping, you're stepping into honor. This favor is what sets you apart as a chosen one. The enemy's plans can't stop you because God's favor is your shield. The trap is defeated, and your blessings are multiplying. Walk in it. Chosen one, your favor is unstoppable. Let's talk about the divine restoration God is working in your relationships. The enemy's trap was meant to divide you from those you love, to sow discord and loneliness. But God is healing and restoring your connections. Colossians 3:14 says, "And over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity." The trap is exposed, and your relationships are being renewed. This restoration isn't just reconciliation, it's divine unity. The enemy wanted to isolate you, but God is knitting hearts together, bringing peace where there was pain. Broken bonds are mending, and new connections are forming. You're not just reconnecting, you're building lasting love. Think of Jacob and Esau, divided by betrayal. The enemy thought their rift was a trap, but God's restoration brought them together. You're in a Jacob and Esau moment. The trap was meant to separate you, but God's love is uniting you. You're not just escaping, you're restoring relationships. This restoration is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's division can't hold you because God's love is your bond. The trap is shattered, and your relationships are thriving. Embrace it, chosen one. Your love is a testimony. Let's talk about the divine purpose God is awakening in your actions. The enemy's trap was meant to make you feel aimless, to keep you from impacting the world. But God is igniting a purpose that drives every step you take. Ephesians 1:11 says, "In him we were also chosen, having been predestined according to the plan of him who works out everything in conformity with the purpose of his will." The trap is exposed, and your purpose is alive. This purpose isn't just a goal, it's a divine mission. The enemy wanted you to drift, but God is directing your actions toward impact. Every move you make is part of his plan, creating ripples that change lives. You're not just acting, you're fulfilling a calling. Think of Nehemiah, who rebuilt Jerusalem's walls against all odds. The enemy thought opposition would trap him, but his purpose prevailed. You're in a Nehemiah moment. The trap was meant to stop your work, but God's purpose is driving you forward. You're not just escaping, you're building for eternity. This purpose is what sets you apart as a chosen one. The enemy's distractions can't derail you because God's mission is your guide. The trap is broken, and your actions are changing the world. Move forward, chosen one. Your purpose is unstoppable. Let's talk about the divine confidence God is instilling in your identity. The enemy's trap was meant to make you question who you are, to fill you with insecurity. But God is affirming your identity as his chosen child. 1 Peter 2:9 says, "You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession." The trap is exposed, and your confidence is soaring. This confidence isn't just self-esteem, it's divine assurance. The enemy wanted you to doubt your worth, but God is reminding you of your royal calling. You're standing taller, speaking bolder, and walking prouder because you know who you are in him. You're not just believing, you're embodying your identity. Think of Peter, who denied Jesus but was restored to lead his church. The enemy thought his failure was a trap, but God's affirmation made him a rock. You're in a Peter moment. The trap was meant to shame you, but God's truth is lifting you up. You're not just escaping, you're owning your calling. This confidence is what makes you a chosen one. The enemy's lies can't shake you because God's truth is your foundation. The trap is defeated, and your identity is secure. Stand tall, chosen one. Your confidence is your crown.